Hello and welcome to this Feedinfo Perspectives video on overcoming health and production challenges in feedlot cattle. I'm Ollie Theocaris, Head of Perspectives Content for Feedinfo. Today, I am going to be speaking to Mariana Bonato, R&D Manager at ICC Brazil, who are supporting this video. So we're going to be talking about some of the most challenging health problems in cattle and why they're so serious. We're also going to address the role that the rumen can play in animal health and how feed ingredients can be used to support overall animal health as well. Hello, Melina. Thank you for joining me today. So first, it would be great if you could introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about your role at ICC.
Thank you for the opportunity. I'm Mariana Bonato. I am an animal scientist and I have a master's and a PhD in animal science. I am an R&D manager for ICC Brazil since 2013, and I coordinate the research in different species, the communication of scientific data, and transformation of it into technical content. Besides it, also the technical training and support of our team and partners worldwide.
Thank you for giving us that overview. I think this makes you very well placed to speak with me about today's, today about ruminant health. So firstly, I want to know what you think are the biggest challenges that beef cattle producers are facing regarding animal health and production. What are your thoughts here?
In general, beef cattle production has different profiles in each region. So it's essential to consider that these are long cycle production, significant impact by the climate and other factors that cannot be controlled. So for example, in Brazil, we have a majority of the production coming from animals raised in the pasture, where the challenges are the climate, feed quality, diseases, and low efficiency. On the other hand, when we consider animals in a feedlot, where it's possible to control better the conditions, feed quality, and also to have a higher production efficiency, and of course more expensive, another kind of challenges appears, like rumen health, metabolic disease, respiratory disorders, etc.
Thank you for that overview. And yes, I think you raised a very good point there when you mentioned long cycles of production. There is a lot of investment in each animal when you're looking at raising cattle. And if something does go wrong, you could lose quite a substantial investment. So it's really important that cattle producers in particular really make sure that they're keeping their animals healthy. So how seriously can these animal health issues impact the rest of the supply chain? So can animal health issues go as far as impacting food safety in beef?
Yes, it can. Animals raised in pasture can present different microorganisms due to a more extensive contact with the environment, and it can contaminate the carcass during the slaughter process. However, animals from feedlot production can present higher contamination of bacteria like E. coli due to the type of the diet and proliferation in the intestine, leading to the final meat products contamination as well. So it's crucial. It's a crucial issue regarding the human health, especially when we consider bacteria as E. coli and Salmonella, which are responsible for a significant part of human foodborne illness and include cause of death.
Yeah, I think that it's really clear from what you're saying that these are really serious issues and producers must do all they can to address them in the best way possible because, you know, outbreaks in humans and food safety issues in humans really are publicized very widely and could cause quite a serious impact on businesses if they are kind of shared and spread. So I want to find out more about the gut health side of things. We always hear about how gut health is having a really important role in overall animal health. So when looking at the research, what role does the cow's rumen play in its overall animal health?
We need to understand that the rumen is a unique compartment in the intestinal digestive tract, because it possesses around 10 million cells per ml in a total volume between 150 and 240 liters. So it's a big environment. So we are far from fully understand the microflora dynamic in the rumen. considering that the environment, all the environment, external environment, the diet, the other factors can impact on it. However, especially the diet will significant impact on the microflora, and by the consequence in the rumen health. For example, a diet rich in starch will increase the proliferation of amylolytic bacteria that produce lactase, that will decrease the rumen pH and will affect the cellulite and hemicellulite bacteria action that are responsible for the fiber degradation, the FDN portion of the diet. So considering long periods of animal receiving these diets, it could affect the rumen papillae integrity and as a consequence affect the volatile fatty acids absorption. And it could also be transformed into a metabolic disorder, starting an inflammatory process and negatively impact the animal's general health and performance.
So clearly, rumen health is really important. And thinking about that information that you've shared, what is the potential impact if producers do not implement measures to support rumen flora and link to that animal immunity?
In general, we observe subclinical diseases that can impact on performance. Usually, if it is present in the day by day, the producer, the farmer, cannot identify these issues and achieve the animal potential. However, it can also appear morbidity and mortality depend on the challenges and the animal's age, for example, in young animals. And then the farmer needed to expend thousands of dollars with medicines and veterinary labor without identifying the real problem. So considering an adult ruminant, it's not usual to invest or pay attention on their immunity status. However, more and more studies in the literature show that these animals, they are susceptible to diseases as well, and it can impact in health and production, which means an impact on return on investment as well.
Which I think is really important for producers. I know that, of course, they always want to make sure their animals are well cared for, but at the end of the day, as we said before, there's a lot invested in these animals, in these cows. So when we're talking about gut health for any animal, what the animal eats is really important to make sure that the gut stays healthy. So can you tell us what role feed additives can play in addressing some of these issues?
Today we have a substantial amount of feed additives in the market with a proven mode of action and benefits. And a significant part of these feed additives will play a role in the rumen by affecting the microflora and the diet digestibility. It could be controlling the rumen pH fluctuation, controlling the proliferation of some types of microorganisms, etc. However, few products are focused on maintaining animals' immunity status due to the lack of attention on these issues, as I mentioned before.
Now, I know that you actually have a product at ICC Brazil that does affect rumen health. So can you tell us about rumen yeast and the research you've conducted around this product?
Yes, rumen yeast is a solution proposed by ICC Brazil and contains the yeast metabolites plus monoligosaccharides and beta-glucans. The metabolites will play a role in the rumen by maintaining the rumen pH and impact on FDN digestibility without affect the starch fraction degradation. So this will impact in rumen health and directly in the production. Considering the monoligosaccharides and beta-glucans present in the cell wall, these components will act in the intestine level since the monoligosaccharides can agglutinate bacteria that possess fibrin, like Salmonella and E. coli. This will impact in animals' health by decreasing pathogens contamination and affect positively the food safety by reducing the carcass contamination. Beta-glucans will get in contact with the immune system cells present in the gut, triggering a chain reaction that will make the immune system cells alert and ready for any challenge or contamination. This mode of action by the beta-glucans, we call it as immunomodulation. We have trials in dairy and beef cattle proving the positive impact of rumen yeast supplementation on FDN digestibility, and as a consequence, increase the milk production and quality on dairy cows. In beef cattle, we have trials showing positive effects on body weight gain and carcass quality, especially when we talk about fat thickness. So also in beef cattle, we could prove that the rumen yeast has a consistently positive impact by modulating the immune system responses and decrease the herd's respiratory diseases.
Thank you for that overview there. And I want to finish up. I know that research is clearly an important area of focus for your business. So finally, I wanted to ask, what are the next steps for research for your team at ICC?
We believe that natural products will take place more and more in animal production, especially when we have restrictions on using antibiotics, ionophores, etc. So with consistent results that we have until now, we plan to continue to invest in research, focus on understanding the rumen yeast components mode of action, especially on the rumen and the immune system, and how it can benefit the animals and the farmers.
I do agree with you on the natural products there, because as consumers become more aware and regulations tighten around the world, I think that these areas of research are really exciting and should produce some really great products that provide options for producers around the world. Thank you so much for your time today, Melina. Your insight into this area has been great. Thank you to everyone for tuning in, and we hope you join us for future videos from Feedinfo.